motherhood has its challenges, as you know, and for many, one of them is living up to society's idea of what makes a good mom. We're talking to the author of a new book who says much of the research women have relied on for decades is outdated.
In The Good Mother Myth, Unlearning Our Bad Ideas About How to Be a Good Mom, Nancy Reddy debunks a lot of those traditional norms, and Nancy joins us this morning. Good morning.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
Okay, so what are some of the norms that women have been hooked onto that they should throw away?
Oh, goodness. I mean, I think the biggest one is the idea that, like, as soon as you become a mom, you'll just magically know what to do and you'll be able to do it all on your own. I think so many of us think that we should be able to just kind of do it all without help, and that's so damaging.
There's a lot of guilt involved with moms, too. Whether you're working or staying at home, you're just not doing it right. So what advice do you have for moms?
I mean, I really think that we should stop talking about mom guilt. I think that sometimes it's like actually not helpful as a term. And the biggest thing that shifted for me was reading about the anthropologist Margaret Mead. And she did all this research in Samoa, and she came back and it really changed how she raised her own daughter. And she said what children need is not one perfect mom, but many warm, friendly people. And so I think that means if you're sending your kids to daycare and they're being cared for, that's great. If you're home with them and you're spending lots of time with the people in your neighborhood, that's great. The kids need lots of people and not like one mom who's trying to be perfect and do it herself.
So I remember back in the day, Dr. Spock was a big deal. Everybody read that book. So are there specific things as it relates to attention, the level of freedom, breastfeeding? Were there things that Dr. Spock was pushing that you feel like we should completely think differently?
I think in a lot of ways, Spock had good ideas. You know, the opening line of that book that's so famous is to trust yourself. You know more than you think. And I think that's actually a pretty good starting point. And then, of course, there's like 500 pages of what to do after that. And now online, there's like an infinity of advice available to moms and new parents. And I think it's really easy to get bogged down in all of the advice and all of the experts. And so I think maybe going back to some portion of what Spock said, that trust yourself might actually be the most helpful message from him.
You do say it is interesting that in that whole book that Dr. Spock writes, I don't know if he wrote more than one, there's only one reference to a father doing anything.
Yeah.
But I think men do more in this generation.
Now they do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so how do you get your husband more involved in the process without feeling guilty? And how do you divide up things evenly?
I mean, I think that one part of it for me was letting go of the idea that I could and should do it all myself, because that was bad for me and bad for my marriage. And then the other part of it is that I think so many men really do want to be really involved in their kids. You know, I know a lot of men who are really great engaged fathers. And I think it means giving men space to learn those skills on their own and knowing that caregiving is a skill. It's not something that women or mothers magically have like in their biology, but it's something you learn. And if you have a partner, if you have other family around, giving them space to learn how to do that caregiving in their own way is really important.
Well, the book is The Good Mother Myth, Unlearning Our Bad Ideas About How to Be a Good Mom. For more, check out nancyreddy.com. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.